Welcome everyone to the Hivedrive for the 4th race in Marbula One. I'm Greg Woods. Before you can race the Hivedrive, you must qualify. Sweeping turns to begin, a couple of straights, a twisty section, and that, the Hive. Hexagonal tiles that if you don't get stung on the walls, stay down the middle and you'll find a great boost around the final turn, down the front stretch, and across the line. 13.2 meter lap. A little over 31 seconds we're expecting, but you never know with these marbles. As you see, the competitors last ran at the O Raceway. Remember, in Marbula One, teams consist of 2 marbles, and they alternate which one qualifies and races. In this case, Nemo will get things started for Team Momo. 11th place 2 races ago, still needing to get some points, and even in the other races, Momo still scoreless. Waspy had pole position back at the O Raceway. Fortunately, everybody knows what happened with the conveyor belt. Waspy just fine, though. He is hoping to set a darn good time here. 29.97, that's ahead of where we thought. But look at Waspy's time. 2.5 seconds better through the split. 4 seconds clear at the line. Waspy obliterates the time that we thought with a 25.8. My goodness. Hive coming across now for the hosts. Good enough for second, but look at the gap. 2.2. My goodness. Rojo Dos comes around the turn, and I wonder if he's caught sight of the scoreboard anywhere. That's good enough for third, but look at that. Almost 4 seconds behind. That's a tremendous time laid down by Waspy. Is that indicative of Waspy's pace, or perhaps the kind of times that could be out here on the track? Jelle out now and 1/4 second clear of the provisional pole speed through the first sector. Into the Hive. Staying decently down the middle, getting that speed boost. Jelle picked up 100th more. Down the front stretch, Jelle gets the pole, 32 hundredths. Pretty darn clear that this track is speeding up as the day goes along. Waspy's time was impressive, but there are better times out there, I think. Bolt reassures me on that one. 83 hundredths back in third place, good enough. Rezi around the final turn down the front stretch. 55 hundredths back for third. Limelight taking a great run through the Hive there. Limelight fourth in the last race in which he competed, and good enough for fifth here. Jelle throwing down the gauntlet to Waspy. Said, yeah, you had that big gap at the beginning, but don't get ahead of yourself too much. I have a feeling this battle for pole is not over. Orangen bit by the host's curse last time out at the O Raceway. Was the host and only finished 14th. So far, the Hivedrive throwing up some unexpected results here as Orangen is provisionally quicker. Will it stay across the line? Yes, indeed. 1.25 seconds clear. 24.23. That is tremendous. Snowflake also in the green. 4 hundredths up. What's it going to be across the line? Snowflake snatches pole. 23.99. The times are tumbling. Anarchy getting a little bit hung up through the Hive and nearly 3 seconds down. Mary also a little slow through the first sector. What can she do through the Hive? Also gets hung up. 5 seconds down for Anarchy. And 2 seconds down for Mary. 2 seconds down, and it stretches nearly to 4 as Mary comes across the line, but that is still good enough for 8th. This is very interesting to me because think about this. This track is not incredibly longer or anything than some of the laps that we've had before in the first 3 rounds, but yet the time differences are enormous. Pulsar out on track, a 12th place finish last time out at the O Raceway. Rapidly dives down and heads on to start his qualifying lap. Our 2nd place finisher from 2 races ago. Pulsar through the Hive, under a second. Make up time in that 3rd sector, goes through the pit lane for some reason, and it's good enough for 7th. A little bump off the wall there for Rapidly, but keeps it under a second as well heading into the 3rd sector. What can Rapidly do? 2.808 back, good enough only for 6th. Billy will be next across the line. Our winner and fastest lap at the Raceway that had all kinds of trouble bumping off the walls also takes the pit lane as a result, and will qualify in 10th, provisionally. Smoggy, our final runner. A little over a second back. Can he make up any time across the line? No. 26.01. Good enough for 5th. So, is there a host curse? I don't know, the Hornets down in 13th might have something to say about that, but how about the battle for pole? Snowflake and Origin up front. That was tremendous. What will we see tomorrow? Subscribe, click the bell to stay tuned for more, and we'll hopefully see you in the live stream where we hope to break 10,000 viewers.